Well, if this ain't about a bitch.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. Thought I was going to end this Sunday on a high note. I was like, let me take the weekend off. No big news is going to come out. Isaac Seumalo got signed by another team, but that wasn't what we were waiting for, right? We were waiting for this Chauncey Gardner Johnson news. So we did get the Chauncey Gardner Johnson news. Not the news that we wanted. There was a lot of talk that there was going to be a one-year deal being signed with Chauncey Gardner Johnson. A lot of people thought it was going to be the Eagles. Obviously, there was some chatter of other teams involved. But honestly, the Detroit Lions come out of nowhere. It felt like it was out of nowhere and scoop up Chauncey Gardner Johnson for a one-year, $8 million contract. I am so confused. Only $6.5 million guaranteed. Was he disrespected by the Eagles? Could Howie realistically not get this done? I have no idea what's going on. This makes zero sense to me. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the Eagles are going to have to look now for a safety. There's no way that you go into this, season with just Reed Blankenship as your guy. We already lost Marcus Epps. I really don't know what the Eagles are thinking right now. If it came down to you giving him I don't even know. $16 million would be 2 years if you just doubled what he has. 12.5 guaranteed. I mean, I really don't understand where the disconnect was. Maybe it was that he wanted to go to a different team where he felt like he can actually prove to them he's worth that big money long term. Maybe the Eagles just weren't interested in doing it at all. But this goes against every single report. It felt like the Eagles were in there until the Eagles were not in there. I want to know what the heck is going on. This is just my raw reaction. Obviously I have to kind of read more about it, see what the heck is actually happening with this. Oh man, this is a little bit frightening, a little bit worrisome. I am happy that the Eagles were able to retain James Bradberry, retain Darius Slay. Maybe this is why they were able to do that. Maybe this is why they did that in the first place. There are some guys, when you look at the draft, that could do a little bit of what, Chauncey Gardner Johnson did. And by no means am I saying that Chauncey Gardner is the best safety we've ever had. He's the next coming of Brian Dawkins. Not saying that, but it felt solid. It felt solidified. It felt like we didn't have to worry about that. Maybe Kevin Byard's a guy that you're looking at. He'll probably be kind of cheap because he is up there in age and he's about to get released, or if he hasn't gotten released by this is out. This is funny. This is very, very interesting. The Eagles and Howie Roseman again show where they lie their loyalty, where they put their money, where they put all the chips down, and it ain't safety. It definitely is not safety. This sucks, man. It really does. I think a lot of Eagles fans thought this was going to be a little bit different. We all knew that we don't necessarily have the highest value on safeties, but this felt different. This felt like they really wanted him to stay around. So there's going to be news. I'm sure there's going to be news coming out about whether or not he felt disrespected by the Eagles offer, why it took so long in the first place, why it's a one-year deal. There's going to be a lot of questions to answer, especially for Howie Roseman and company. This is now a position that you're definitely looking at. We're going to be looking at, Brian Branch. We're going to be looking at Antonio Johnson, Sidney Brown. We're going to be looking at some of these guys, Jair Brown. You're going to be looking at some of these guys, and they might be very important in this draft. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to think. We do have an interview coming out, and unfortunately we talked about Chauncey Gardner Johnson in that interview, but the first half is going to come out tomorrow, so definitely check out for that. But I just wanted to get this out, see what you guys are thinking, see what all of you are thinking about Chauncey Gardner Johnson now being a Detroit Lion. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be watching the Detroit Lions. I feel like they're going to be a fun team to watch next year. But look, man, is this a death sentence? By any means? No. This is definitely not the end of the world. It's tough. This is definitely tough. And it honestly just raises more questions. It's not even about losing the talent, which in itself is tough, obviously, right? You wanted to keep Chauncey Gardner Johnson. But it starts to make you wonder, like, what are you guys doing on the back end? We've heard a lot of different things about Howie Roseman, and I'm not going to go on a crazy, rant about Howie Roseman being trash or nothing like that. It's not that, but I don't know. It's at some point you have to change your philosophy, And I felt like this was the perfect year to do that. Like I said, we're going to really dive into this safety class now. I mean, that's where we're at now. We're really going to have to dive into it. This starts to bring up more of a question mark as of what they're going to do with Avonte Maddox if the Greedy Williams signing has more written on the wall than maybe I gave it credit for. So there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be going into. This is just crazy. This is just absolutely crazy. You guys let me know what you're thinking. How are you feeling? But other than that, man, you know, hit that like, hit that subscribe. But y'all know what it is, man. It is fly Eagles fly, and we need to figure out what the heck is going to happen after our safety position. But sheesh. Peace.
Eagles fans everywhere. This is for you.
Yeah. Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do 'em in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.